All right, everybody. What are we going to be talking about today? So this one is going to be a little bit different video for me, but it's just one of those ones that I know a lot of you feel. And I know I've seen, little parody videos about this everywhere, TikTok, on YouTube, etc., Instagram, and they're all funny, right? But they come from what really happens in real life. So we're going to be talking a few tips of do's and don'ts for Facebook marketplace etiquette. And this is mostly coming from a seller's perspective about communication from potential buyers, right? So for example, I know some people, they say, oh yeah, I'll just send that message, the generic one that it says, hey, is this still available? Right? And they say, oh, well, maybe the ad's been up a long time and it's no longer for sale, and they just left the ad up. Well, that's pretty few and far between. Maybe it happens to more of you sometimes, whatever, right? But if I'm a potential buyer and I send somebody a message or whatever and they never respond back, I really don't care. I'll find it somewhere else, right? It's not the only one that's out there, right? So we'll talk about a couple of tips and tricks for potential buyers in relation to Facebook marketplace etiquette around contacting sellers, right? And this was mostly brought on by a recent person that contacted me about a guitar that I have listed on Facebook marketplace, right? So obviously do contact if genuinely interested, right? So many buyers are just full of shit, right? They're not contacting you because they actually are interested. They just got nothing better to do, and they're just scrolling around. They're like, oh, that's cool. And then they never actually have any interest in buying it, right? If that's you, don't bother contacting me or any of the other sellers. Like, they have tons of messages in a lot of cases that are coming through, and they don't need your BS, right? So if you contact them, make sure you're at least somewhat interested in buying whatever it is that you're contacting them about. Don't contact if you haven't read the description, or if you just need little nuanced details about the item other than maybe item condition, right? So if you just need questions to answer or have answered questions about specs of an item, I don't know about you, but there's this thing called Google. You can use Safari, you can use the Samsung internet. There's all these different things that you can use to find out whatever it is you want about the guitar or car or motorcycle, whatever the hell it is that you're looking at, right? There's no reason to bug them with all that stuff. If it's a all stock Fender Stratocaster, you can look the specs up on Google. You don't have to bother them about it, right? And one thing in between these do's and don'ts is we're not trying to be dicks if we don't want to answer your questions, because this seems like it should be common sense. But as we know, common sense isn't so common anymore, right? So another one, do contact the buyers with, or the sellers with, genuine questions about the item. One of the first questions I almost always ask about an item if I'm trying to buy something, let's say a guitar, for example, I want to know what the fret condition is like, because I can do lots of things as far as repairing guitars, but I don't know how to do fret work. I mean, I can recrown frets, polish frets, level frets, and all that. But as far as installing them and doing all that, nope, can't do that. So you can guarantee that's probably going to come up in a conversation whenever I'm contacting somebody. Do make small talk about the item, right? Like for example, we'll just look at some Facebook Marketplace stuff right here. So this attenuator, I might actually be interested in that, right? Then see how it says, hi Sean, is this still available? You don't have to use that. It is possible to modify that. So you just click right on the window and then you delete it. And then you can say, hey, cool, whatever question that might make sense to you. If you need to look at specs, a lot of the times you could look right at the picture and see what the specs of this thing are. If not, like I said, Google is your friend. You can just look that up. You don't have to contact them about that. I could just say like, hey, Sean, I was thinking about maybe picking this thing up. What's your opinion on it? How did you use it? How did it benefit you? Right? That's an engaging conversation, and that will help you along the way, especially if you're going to try to make a deal on the item. Making small talk, showing genuine interest has got me a lot of the stuff that you see here for very good prices. And it's very simple. That's just the art of negotiation, folks. right? Don't use the pre-populated message. I don't know how many times I got to tell you, don't use that message. Even if you want to ask that. If the ad is posted, it's probably posted there because it's still available. Now check this out. This one is one of my postings right now. Let's see, your listings. So I've went as far as, for a long time, I put in the body of the description, very first thing, like, if you see this ad, it's still available. Well, check this one out. So now, I have one of my things for sale right now. See what it says in the description, still available. And then you scroll down to the description. Where is it? Oh, let me look at it. Maybe that one's not a good example. Okay, here we go. So here's a guitar that's listed for sale. And where's the description? Okay, here we go. So we can go into the description. Now check this out. So in the title, it says still available. In the description, it says still available. Guess what the question I got today was? Oh, is this still available? And when I responded back with, did you read the title or the description? Oh, sorry, you don't have to be a dick. It's like, dude, I'm not being a dick. You didn't obviously read anything. Like, why are you even contacting me about this? Because you didn't read anything about it. Do you even know what the hell it is? Because if you can't read the very first words of a listing description or the title, like, there's not really much I can do to help you, right? Let's see what else. Okay, so as far as making offers, make your offers in person, right? I know I much prefer that. You can talk a little bit of pricing or whatever before you go and meet up just to kind of get an idea, but make your offers in person after you have a conversation, after you've actually looked at the item itself so that you know what the actual condition is. Because sometimes people will take pictures and they're crappy pictures and you get there and it's like, oh my God, this thing is way worse condition than you listed it, my friend. I'm still interested, but price is going to have to come down. Or it could be the opposite. Maybe they took pictures with a frickin' potato and you get there and then whatever it is you're looking at is in much better condition and you want to take that and you're like, dude, okay. I mean, I'm okay with full asking price. There's been a few things that's happened to me too. I go and check out the item and it's like, I mean, this is in way better condition than I think you listed it. So I'm not even going to haggle you on it. I remember finding a pair of freaking roller skates. They were rollerblades. They were Italian-made rollerblades. They only wanted $10 for them. They said used, and they didn't have any pictures. And it was just like, man, I could use some blades. I haven't bladed in a long time. So then I show up, and they're brand spanking new Italian-made rollerblades. So it was like, I don't even need to wheel and deal on this price. This is a great price. Here you go, right? Let's see, what else did I take notes on here? Yeah, don't make offers, especially lowball offers, via Messenger, especially if you haven't even talked to the person. If the person's asking $1,000 and then you're like, hey, I'll give you 300 cash right now. They're not going to take your 300 cash. Why are you wasting your time? You would be much better served having a conversation with the seller and try to build that rapport, and then you can get to the lowball offers, especially in person, right? Go actually look at the stuff. Don't just say, hey, I'll give you $200 for this. I know you're asking $1,000 for it. That's not how it works, guys. Do your research beforehand. Look and see what they've sold for. If somebody has an outlandish price, probably not best to just call them out on it and say, hey, you're a dick. You're charging way too much for that, right? Have a conversation, That's what it's all about. Have a conversation. Intelligent conversation. I'm not the smartest person in the world, but, sales, you got to talk to people. That's what it's all about, talking to people, right? Don't make offers if you're not prepared or able to fulfill those offers. So if you do say, hey, I know you're asking $1,000, but I can give you $750 cash today. And then the person says, actually, I think I could probably do that. Then you just disappear off into the mist, right? Don't make offers if you can't fulfill or are not willing to fulfill those offers, right? Because it's frustrating for the sellers. It's maybe it's just fun for you. I don't know. It is what it is, right? I'm running a little bit long. I'm rambling here, but this is some of the frustrations that a lot of the sellers see on Facebook Marketplace. And if you're running into people who are pretty short with words, this is why. And if I sent you this video and you were trying to buy one of my things, I'm not going to sell it to you, right? I'm not going to sell it to you for 3 or even 10 times the price, because if you can't formulate just a few words, just to make a little bit of a conversation before jumping to conclusions about, oh, you're a dick because you called me out because I didn't read the title or the description. That's how it is, right? So thanks for watching. If you like my content, please like, share, and subscribe. Have a good one.